and I don't think it's for everyone to do. And it's totally all right if that's not your aspiration. And I think that's something that we need to share more often because everyone's like, you should all go start your own business. No, you shouldn't. If you're not comfortable doing all these things and you want to have 8 hours sleep a night, you definitely shouldn't start your own business.
Amy, good afternoon. Welcome to the show. If I can start by asking you to introduce yourself and tell me what your current role is, please.
Yeah, sure. Hi. So first of all, thanks for having me.
Pleasure.
So my name's Amy Stokes-Waters. I am the Chief Commercial Officer and co-founder at Capture the Talent. So we're a cybersecurity training business, currently branching out into pen testing as well.
Wow. Okay. So, how long has that business been running for now?
So we started it in November 2021. Um, so just going through the whole fun of finishing off our first accounts and
Okay.
having to register. So that's interesting. That's been a challenge because I've never done that before. So that's been fun. So yeah, about 18 months.
Okay. This your first CxO role?
It is, yeah. Yeah, I've always worked in sales roles previously. Um, not even, well, I guess senior sales role just by virtue of having worked there a while. Um, but yeah, this is the first time I've ever been in charge.
And how do you? How's it going? How's it feel? Is it any different?
It's the thing that I think I was probably born to do. I've been waiting for this my whole entire life to be allowed
Okay.
in charge of things. So yeah, other than my little brothers when I was younger, who I was always in charge of, obviously, um,
Okay.
never been able to like sit there and go, "Here's my idea. Let's make like without with no one saying no to me." So I can go, "Here's my idea, and I want to do it," and we just go, "Okay, let's do it," because I can. It's
That's
great.
pretty good. That's cool. That's cool. So, first of all, why the name? I don't know where you got that from. So, what was the background to that?
Oh, so capture the talent. Yeah, so that came from so capture the flag events that are running cybersecurity. We started off basically just creating those,
Okay.
um, helping people like from a training perspective, but also from a recruitment perspective. So I guess the word talent kind of fit both of those angles.
Yeah.
Now we're reaching out into pen testing. We're having to create a separate organisation because obviously capture the talent. Everyone looks at that and goes, "You're a recruitment company. Why the hell would we
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
doing?"
Yeah. It does sound recruitment. It does. It does. Okay. So, why pen testing? And there's a reason I'm asking you this question is that I work for an organisation called Integrity, which is a bug bounty platform.
Mm.
And I had a stunning time there, loved it. And it was like almost selling against pen testing. And it seemed to be the trend that people want to hire hackers rather than doing pen testing. So
Yeah, it's
you're obviously still seeing good market opportunity for that, right?
yeah, so I think a lot of pen testing companies at the moment, and especially those that are doing kind of pen testing as a service, they're all offering it around web app testing, which I guess is where the bug bounty platforms specialize in. No one's sitting there bug bounty my entire internal network. Um, we do the opposite of that. We love all the internal network stuff. So my other half, the technical half of the equation, he's been a pen tester for 16 years, I think. Um, he's never failed to get domain admin in any of his internal pen tests.
This is Sean, right?
Yes, that is
Yeah, yeah.
Sean. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So he's never failed to get domain admin in any of his tests. And he loves internal pen testing and doing like assume breach kind of exercises, um, where we'll play the insider threat kind of role and see where we can get to. So yeah, I think we're focusing more on the kind of network testing rather than on the application side of things. I mean, we'll still do the application side of things, but like I think, like you said, a lot of people are relying on that the bug bounty to kind of keep them secure.
Okay. Um, so how are you? Because relatively new startup, first executive role.
Mm.
How are you getting your customers? Are you having to be the salesperson?
Yeah, so it's funny actually. When we first started the business, I was like, "How the hell do we get a customer? Like, what do we do? Like, who do? How does this happen?" Like,
Yeah.
even though I've worked in sales for I don't know 8 I've always usually had been like, "Here's a direction to go in. Go pick these people, or here's some
Yeah.
people I've already worked with. Go talk to them."
Yeah.
And this was like, I've got no one I've already worked with, and I've got no idea who wants to buy what we're doing because we haven't really been doing it at all. So it was like starting afresh. But I do it all through LinkedIn, all of it.
Okay. Has that been successful for you?
Yeah, we've just done a 7-figure turnover for this FY so far. So
Nice. Excellent. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank
That's
you.
pretty good. So look, obviously I've done some research on you, and one of the things that I've picked up on was, and one of the reasons I asked you about sales, is that you seem to have an issue with some of the sales methodologies and sales practices that goes on. Bear in
I
mind,
do.
I've been in IT tech sales for 25 years, so I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. So what's your experiences and the reason behind that comment you made on another interview?
So I mean, there's several times I've talked about crap sales practices, but I think the issue that I have is with whole cold calling methodology that people have. It's like they're throwing enough shit at the wall and seeing what
Yeah,
sticks. Seems
yeah,
to be the process that people follow. There's no we get told it's hyper personalized, and I'm like, there's no hyper personalization at all. You've not actually looked at my profile. All you've done is got some AI to pick out some sentences
yeah, yeah.
thinking that's personalized to me. It's not personalized to me at all. That's why I put a sunshine in front of my name on LinkedIn, because the amount of messages that I get that says, "Hey, Amy Sunshine," I'm like, "Hey, oh, that's
Okay,
definitely a person messaging me." If I message people, a lot of the time, do you know what I'll do? I'll either shorten the name or I'll spell the name purposefully wrong so that they know it's not a robot texting them, because you get that many messages. Even I don't do cold outreach at all. I look at the demand generation rather than going, here's some people that fit some profile that I've invented that I want to sell to. I mean, my ideal customer profile is anyone that wants to buy from me. That's what we go.
okay. So, I spoke to someone the other day who's been in marketing, a marketing veteran, and they were saying that they've almost given up on cold outreach
Mm,
because you might have got all the tools we've got right now: Outreach, Sales Loft, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, Cognism, Zoom Info, all those products.
mm,
Very rarely, I'm seeing the success rates of those fall because although you're talking about personalization, mentioned it earlier, regardless of how personalized you make it, it doesn't always match the ICP, and you can tell it's a robot that's doing it, right? So, so they said to me that what you really need to do is you need your customers to come, all your prospects to come to you. The offering needs to be good. People need to be talking about you. You need to be good on social media, etc. And I think that really really works. And I'm seeing that's how it's going. So that's why I was asking about how you're getting your customers because I'm seeing
yeah,
a bit of a shift.
it's entirely through referrals, through talking to people. So we're working with the biggest law firm in Florida at the moment, which has come entirely off LinkedIn. So I messaged
From Leeds, yeah,
probably.
from Leeds, yeah, okay,
Yeah, no, so the biggest law firm in Florida, a company called Cole Scott Kissane. We've done some pen testing work with them. That all came about because I messaged their CIO on LinkedIn and said, "I love what you do on the platform. Could we have a chat about like what how you're using LinkedIn and how
yeah,
it's helped in your role as a technical person, because he's obviously not doing it for sales. So what is he doing it for?" So we had a conversation about that, and at the end of that, he went, "Tell me about some services that you guys do," and I did, and he went, "Cool, let's buy some." I mean, it was an unusually easy sale. I'm not going to lie,
yeah. But
but
even so, I think I approached guests for this show via LinkedIn because I use Sales Navigator and find people that match the profile that I'm looking for, and opening a proper one-to-one dialogue with them, like you just mentioned, there works. It really does. It really does.
yeah, I wasn't messaging him to ask him to buy something. I wasn't messaging him, which a lot. So all this sales training, I've seen so much bloody sales training. Where it's like, tell the customer what you can do for them, help them. What can I help a CISO with? I'm in sales, so what can I help you
Yeah,
with? Help you with the services I'm providing, but
yeah,
that's me selling to you, and you don't want to know about that right now. So do you know what I do? I go, what can you help me with? What can I talk to you about that you know loads about?
yeah. So what's the plan for the business then? So how many staff you got now? What does next year look like?
Currently it's still just me and Sean. Um, we are waiting on whether we've hit this massive deal this week, and if we've got this big deal this week, then there'll be about seven of us by the end of the month. Um,
Wow. Okay.
haven't got the deal, then it'll carry on just being me and Sean, and we'll find another big deal to go after, I guess. But yeah, we're going to split the business off. So we've got two companies. One will be the pen testing side, which will be named something more sensible, not capture um, and then we'll carry on with the CTT stuff at the same time. We're releasing a new lab, like the Hack the Box Pro labs. Sean's developed a sequel to Dante, which is the one that he created for Hack the Box. So we'll be launching that and kind of pushing into that B2C market a little bit. So yeah, lots of bits going on. It's just trying to keep on top of it all because there's only two of us at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. So what are you trying to build? Are you trying to build a business? Are you trying to build a something that's going to support your expensive lifestyle? You building something to sell in 3 years? What's the plan?
No, I think we want to build something. We want to grow. We want to grow it. We don't just want to have a lifestyle business. We've been asked that before.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, we could stop working now for the rest of the year and not have to lift a finger, and we'd still be fine. So, but that's boring, isn't it? Why would
It's a good position to be in. So it shows, at least it confirms that what you're doing is right.
Yeah, yeah. But I'd get really bloody bored doing it. If I stopped working for 6 months, I'd actually,
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, I'd have to actually go to the gym and be healthy or something if I did that.
Oh,
Um,
blimey.
so yeah, no, no one wants that. So yeah,
No.
we're gonna grow the business. We're gonna, like I said, move into the pen testing side of the market. We've got some cool services around that we're looking at. Um, yeah, and just see where it goes from there. We try not to have too much of a strict plan because you get depressed if you don't hit it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's talk about your background a little bit. So, obviously, Chief Commercial Officer right now. How did you get to where you are today? Because, with the greatest of respect, you've had quite a few roles in the last 10 years, according to
Yeah, I've had loads.
LinkedIn.
So I've worked at about 4 companies, I think, 4 or 5 since I started work altogether. Other roles are just like peripheral things that I've invented, um, like podcast host or whatever. But yeah, so I've got my background's in project management. So that's where I first started out. So learning, how to deal with a project, create a project, all really super fun stuff around risk and blah blah blah. Um, moved into project management office after that. So that was kind of looking at all the back office stuff, looking at financial reporting, project reporting, resourcing. Um, then from there, I got pulled into sales by the sales director at the company I was at. He said, "You're gobby, come and work on my team." I was like, "Fair." So
that's
that
that's a
was,
that's a compliment, right?
yeah, I was all right with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, went and worked there, and that's where I kind of realised, because I'd always said, when I was younger, I'd always been like, sales is not for me. I'm never gonna do sales. It's got to
Yeah.
be the worst job ever. I hate the sound of sales. And then when I started it, I was like, this is bloody brilliant. I love it. So yeah, moved into sales, and then got all right on LinkedIn, and then got a job as a marketing exec for a few months, but then jacked that in so that we could just do this full time. But it's been good because it's given me like the breadth of knowledge that I've needed around loads of different areas to kind of pull the commercial side of the business together. So I've looked like I've project managed products moving into a business, or sold pretty much every service and product under the sun sold by Microsoft. So I've got
Okay.
understanding of like the whole IT space. Yeah, marketing we've done.
So what I've seen across all the executives I've interviewed is that all of them have some sales expertise about them. They're all a salesperson, and I don't think you can be an executive, whether it be CEO or whatever, chief CRO, CCO, unless you have that sales expertise, and obviously you have that. You mentioned that you love sales. What did you love about it? Was it the challenge? Was it the money? What did you enjoy so much?
Um, I think it's the fact that it is really different every day, and I know loads of people say this about the job. Like, my job's so different every day. When I was a project manager, I used to say that. I know it bloody wasn't. It was every day. This
Yeah,
genuinely is, like, especially
yeah.
at the level that we're doing it at now. Like this morning, I've had a conversation about us going over to Bahrain and going to do some live hacking at a conference in Bahrain. I've had a conversation about this brand new project that we're working on. I've got like 3 customers that I need to go call back, that are all working on totally different projects with brand new things that we've not brought to the market yet, but we're working on just specifically for them. And it's super. I just find it super exciting that there's always something new for me to go and have a go at. And if I get bored of something, I go, oh, suck it off, and I'll go do something else. Or if a customer don't get back to me, I don't get sad about it because I'm like, oh, I've got another 10 to go and talk to over here. It's great. It's like
Yeah.
there's a stream of people that I can have a chat with.
That's a pretty good answer. That's pretty good. So look, I want to go back a long way. Why did you do a degree in English and French?
That is a long way. Um,
It's
well,
not as far long ago as it is for me, but yeah, but for you,
English and French. So yeah, so I did my A levels in English, maths, and French.
okay,
Um, and then French was the subject that I was actually worst at. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go get better at that by doing a degree in it, which is the opposite of what I would recommend anyone else do. I'd be like, go do stuff that you're really good at. Yeah, no, I went and did French. Never once regretted it because I had a great time doing that degree. Did a year abroad. It also taught me how to understand languages, not just in terms of like obviously learning French, but I mean like how to assimilate yourself into another culture, which is super bloody useful at work. So when I moved into cyber, I was like, I've got no idea what everyone's talking about, but you can pick up some odd phrases that people are using and throw them into conversation, and suddenly you're a lot more easily quickly accepted into the fold. Um, just by being able to speak the lingo a little bit, which is, I think, probably the most useful thing that my degree gave me.
Do you still speak French now? You
Yeah.
keep it up? It's
hmm
pretty good. So when you were back then, just finishing your degree, what were your aspirations? What did you want to do for a living?
So this is funny. I wanted to be in marketing, and I had a conversation with my mum and said, "Mum, what the hell do I do now? Like, what job should I go into?" And she
Yeah.
was like, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Marketing," and she went, "No, you'll be shit at that." She went, "No, you'll be shit at that." I went, "Why will I?" She went, "Well, here's a pen. Think of 5 ways you could market it." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know any of that. I
Well,
can't tell you."
has your mum seen Wolf of Wall Street? Has she? I'm
My
impressed
mum's
with
a
that.
my mum's a project manager, so funnily, she told me I'd be great at project managing. Um,
Okay, okay.
it's a project management.
There you go.
To be fair, all of her contacts were in project management, and I used her entire network. I just went through her network and went, "Hi, I'm Amanda's daughter. Want to employ me? I'm pretty good at what I'm doing. Give me a job." And one of them eventually went, "Yeah, go on then."
So it was an unusual path from projects and office management into cybersecurity. That is not the typical path, right? So how
Yeah.
on earth did that happen?
I was working at an IT. Yes, I was working at an IT company where I was selling like Office 365. God, kill me now. It was so boring. I was selling Office 365 and Azure migrations. Ooh, and
Okay,
yeah, saucy. And I think I had a falling out with the company, and I just went on the internet and went, "Just get me a new job anywhere. Literally,
okay.
I will be fine." And this company came up, and I was like, "Cool, I'll just go work for them." Um,
That's funny. Selling Microsoft products made you want to change career. That's so funny.
Yeah, it was just soul destroying. It was so boring. Like the clients that they had were all little teeny tiny customers who didn't really want to buy Office 365. And when they found out you could put your license on 5 devices, they were like, "Cool, I only need one license for my whole business." And I was like, "No, that's not what that means."
Yeah. Okay.
And that
Okay.
was not the kind of sales environment that was getting me excited. I wanted to be out there doing like big, bold, risky sales with like giant long proposals and stuff, which is what part of my English degree is all about writing,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love the whole proposal writing piece and making it look shiny and telling customers how fantastic we are, but without actually sitting there saying I'm the dog's bollocks.
It's it's funny having been in sales for a long time, and that's all I've really done. I was a techie beforehand, but then I was 23 years in sales. It's I think you become a better salesperson every year based on experience
Mhm.
because I remember being told that you need to sell benefits, you need to sell value, and all this sort of stuff. And I don't think you. When I did my first $1 million deal in my first year in sales, accidentally, existing customer needed to buy new stuff, right? So, but I couldn't believe that someone was spending £1 million on a deal that I was doing, and it's taken me years and years and years to figure out actually the ROI on that for them was really good, and they had to. It was the right business decision to do. So, it's yeah, that's one of the reasons I love sales. I agree. Ever made any career mistakes? Anything you shouldn't have done? Wish you hadn't.
Mm, no, do you know what? Because I always think I wouldn't be where I am if I hadn't made those mistakes. So I probably people. If anyone's listening to this, they're probably going, "Yeah, you shouldn't have fucked me off in 1992 or whatever it was." But I'm where
But
I am, and it's
but you,
great.
but you learn from mistakes, right? So that I think you have to make
Yeah,
mistakes, and some an old VP of mine said to me once, "You can make as many mistakes as you want, but don't make the same mistake twice," which I think is fair. Which is fair.
yeah, and I
Um,
find new ways to fuck things up all the time. So it's great. I'm constantly making new mistakes. I've got no problem with that. Yeah, but I do try
that's
to not
fine.
repeat.
No, that's good. So a question I love asking people is about sliding door moments. Was there a pivotal moment in your life or career which completely changed the direction you went?
I don't know. I was talking to someone about this the other day. I think in terms of attitude. So when I was younger, I was really, really boring, really nerdy at school. People don't believe this. I used to be like really quiet, never used to talk to it, never really used to get told off for talking, never really did anything that was like rebellious or
So
anything like
what happened?
that. So my mum and dad are quite rebellious people. They were like punks and stuff in the 70s, and they must have been looking
Okay.
when I was younger. I wanted to be an accountant. Like that was that level of like dull as a kid. They must have been looking at me going, "Where the hell did we go wrong?" So I remember being like 15, 16 in art class, and we got told we had to create these logos. We had to go create a logo out of different mediums. And I was like, "Oh, I could do it in pencil, or I could do it in pen, or I could use a felt tip." And my mum went, "No. think about it, outside of the bloody box, will you? Stop trying to do things that are boring. Like everyone else is going to do that. Think about something totally different. So I went into school with like
Okay.
a tray of crest that had written this logo out of, and like fucking weird shit like that. And it was that conversation I always remember being like, "Oh my god, I don't have to do what everyone else is doing. Like I can just imagine a new way of doing stuff." And then I think from there, I've probably done that in most things that I do in life.
No, that's cool. That's not too bad. So, do you have any obscure talents at all? Juggling, fire breathing.
Crochet and knitting, I can do it.
Okay.
I can knit and crochet pretty well. But yeah, I don't know how obscure that is anymore. I think there's quite a lot of teenagers do that now, isn't there?
Yeah, even famous people do it now. Was it
Yeah.
Tom Daley was famous for crocheting? I think I saw it on TV or whatever after the Olympics.
Probably.
I don't know. I don't know.
So yeah, I don't think anything outside of I guess that.
Okay, cool. Couple of other oddball questions for you then. So, who would you have play you in a movie?
Ooh, good question. I mean, they don't have to look like me, do they? Because but just
Well, a little bit, a little bit. You couldn't say Tom Hanks, for example. So,
Aye, that would be cool. Maybe like Tilda Swinton. I don't know. She's quite left field, isn't she?
upon doing the research for this call, you seem to be a big advocate for diversity
Mm.
in for women in IT, cybersecurity, etc. So,
Yes.
why have you taken on a mission to change that? Why is it so important to you?
Well, I think if someone doesn't stand up there and say it, then there's going to be no other role models for other women. So, I've got a 5-year-old daughter, and I would quite like her to grow up in a world where she doesn't look at an industry and go, "Oh, I can't be in that industry because I'm a girl."
Yeah,
So the other day I was saying something to her about work. So she's 5. I was saying something to her about work, and she said, "Well, what about your boss?" And I said, "I don't have a boss." She went, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm the boss." She was like, "You're the boss? When you're bigger,
okay.
and I said, when you're bigger, you can be the boss." Quickly added on to the end of that, but not of me, because she seems to think that if she's the boss, then she can be the boss of
But she
everyone.
already is, really, isn't she? Probably.
A
So,
little bit, yeah. But yeah, she was just amazed, and she didn't realize that you could just be a boss. So I want to. I think we should have more of those light bulb moments at like the age of 5,
yeah,
rather than it turn into. I didn't realize how easy it was to start a company when I was like 30.
yeah.
Um, I shouldn't have the light bulb moment at 30. I should be having that at 18 when I'm young enough to go out there and make some changes. I could have had 12 more years doing this.
So, is it a generation issue? Are we bringing people up to think that women can't do that, or is it an industry that women don't want to get in? What's the reason for it? Do you think?
So I was on a panel about this whole thing yesterday with DCIT, and we were saying there's issue with representation. So 4 out of 5 senior leaders in the cybersecurity industry are white, able-bodied men.
Yep.
But if you go to a talk about diversity, they're not the people sat in the audience, but they're the people that should be sat in the audience, because they're the ones that need to listen to the conversation, because they're the ones who can enact change right now.
Yep.
So I think from both angles, we could be pulling more women up and pushing them into senior roles. We can do a lot more around like career switches, because they've got all the skills there. They just need a bit of context. So doing stuff like the caps lock course, they get all the context. So if you're a consultant already, then you could do consult in cybersecurity because you've got consulting skills. So we could do a lot more around that. But then again, from the bottom end of the market, we need to be attracting more girls into the industry. And currently, all I see in schools is them doing like girls who code. I don't do any coding as part of my role. No, not never. Sean asked me to open a terminal the other day, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" I do no coding at all. So why are they doing? So why are we not just going into schools and saying, actually, here are the roles that you could be doing that are in a technical industry. We don't have to be mega technical to do them. You don't have to be doing all this coding stuff. Sales is a great role. It's a great role for women because you can go. A lot of it is just talking, and we're really good at talking. So I don't know why, but I've never heard of a careers advisor that says when you grow up you should be in sales. They never say that, do they? They're always like, you should be a doctor, you should be a lawyer.
I've had this conversation many times, right? So, most of my bosses have always been North American based,
Mm-hmm.
and in America, people are proud to be a salesperson. It's a recognised professional career. In the UK, ugh, it's that bloody salesperson giving me a call again, trying to sell me something.
Yeah.
Not, oh, they're trying to add value to my business. They're trying to improve efficiency, trying to save me money, trying to make me money. It really pisses me off, and I see that all the time. So
But
that's why people don't go into sales, I don't think.
I think that's the reputation that we give ourselves. Though I think, I mean, there's a I do bash sales a lot, and I probably should be a bit more positive about it. One positive thing is in sales, everyone can have a go at it. There's very little. I always think there's very few barriers to entry into a sales role. Most companies will go, "Can you pick up a phone? Can you send an email? Cool, come and have a go at it then." Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
you're normally getting a shit wage. You're getting paid. The wage is mostly commission at the bottom end, isn't it?
yeah.
So most people get to have a go at it. And if you're good and you can work it out quick enough, then you'll move up the ladder. Or if you're
Yeah.
like me, you just push in at some level after doing project.
Nothing wrong with that, whatever it takes, right? So in terms of the Hero CxO channel, what advice would you give to someone who wants to become a CxO or an executive? What advice would you give them?
Well, I'd first of all point out that it's only 12 quid on Company's House to go open a business, and you can call yourself whatever bloody job title you want then, which is exactly what I've done.
Yeah,
Um, and I don't think a lot of people know that. I think loads of people think, oh my God, there's so many processes and the hoops to jump through to open a business. There's not. It's like 10 minutes. I did it the other day for another company, 10 minutes. It's so easy to do. So I think that barrier needs to be discussed about more often because I think people think, oh, but I'm never going to get through all of these. I don't know, checks. There's no checks. The government are very lax about who can open a business. Um, and then I think making sure if you're starting a company that you've understood what all the roles are that you're going to need. So I'm not saying like you need to have 10 people working for you. I'm saying have you got the capabilities to do the roles. So I can't do any of the technical stuff. So I'm shit at delivery. So I've got Sean who does all the delivery as the other half of the business, which is great. But I can cover like the legal side. I can cover the marketing bit. I can cover the sales bit. I can cover the finance bit. He does the technical bit. He does all the setting up of the IT stuff, delivering the service, whatever. But you need to make sure that you've got those but like all of the skill sets covered. Because if you've not, then you're gonna find a massive bloody headache. Or you can fill it in with a marketing agency or an accountant or whatever, but make sure you've got all that covered to start with, and your journey will be a lot easier.
do you think anyone can be a leader?
No, no, I don't. I'm sure it's
I
not.
should rephrase that, shouldn't I? Say, do you think anyone can be a great leader? That's probably the
I
different
don't.
answer.
I don't think anyone. I don't think everyone can be just a leader. I don't think. I think it takes a special kind of skill set. Some people just like to be told what to do, and that's fine. And there's genuinely nothing wrong with that. We actually need more of those people than we do need leaders because otherwise there'd be a lot of us sat at the top going, okay, we're all going in this direction. Who the fuck's helping me get there? And then there's no one actually behind you doing anything. So no, I don't think it is easy to be a leader. I don't necessarily consider myself a good leader. Um, I just shout, I just talk about it, and
Well,
hope.
if you get this big deal and you get these other people in, then he will be a leader, right?
Yeah, I guess. We'll have to see how that goes. But yeah,
Indeed.
I don't think it's an easy thing to do, and I don't think it's for everyone to do. And it's totally all right if that's not your aspiration. And I think that's something that we need to share more often because everyone's like, you should all go start your own business. No, you shouldn't. If you're not comfortable doing all these things and you want to have 8 hours sleep a night, you definitely shouldn't start your own business.
Completely agree. Very similar to what Eddie Whittingham said in terms
Mm.
of all this nonsense advice that these millionaire people are giving out. Won't affect your mental health, etc. Well, absolutely it will. Everyone needs a bit of luck and they need some sort of sacrifice to make them successful. I completely agree.
100%.
Just finishing up now. So, what about a best quote or advice or analogy you'd give to anyone? I'll give you one, right, for free. And it's a guy that I'm interviewing actually next week. He said, Paul, always tell the truth because it's easier to remember what you said, which
Mm.
I love, especially when it comes to forecast meetings, right? So that's really important. Have you got any nuggets for me?
Yeah, the one that my dad has told me since I've been younger. I'm sure he's got it off some famous cyclist where he gets most of his quotes from. Uh, is pain is temporary, but pride lasts forever.
Like
So
it.
it's sometimes really bloody difficult, but if you know that something good's going to come out at the end of it, and you can be proud of your achievement at the end of it, then you get to keep that, and you
No,
just
that's,
push through. So
that's
yes,
it.
sometimes when it's hard work, I'm like, remember this quote.
I like that. I like that. So, last couple of questions for you. Who would you like me to go after to get on the show for you? Who would you like to see me interview? Anyone in particular?
Hmm. Paul O'Sullivan would be an interesting one. He's another leader. I
I
like.
worked with Paul. I know Paul, so
He was trying
I'll
to
do
call
that.
me. He was trying to call me earlier, and I owe him a phone call.
Oh,
So yeah,
really? Okay.
he's good. Maybe Eliza May Austin as well.
Okay. And what question would you like me to ask them?
what made you start the business? Like what was the catalyst for it? I think. Oh, what? I mean, if you want to be a bit more controversial, what made you give it that stupid bloody name?